I'd like to get it back. It should have never been given. Bagram should have never been given the airbase. It was gross incompetence to give that up.
Trump wants Bagram back. Experts call it a nightmare. Tens of thousands of troops, rocket barrages, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and Iran on watch. The Taliban scoff. Wishful thinking. Yet behind closed doors, diplomacy creeps forward. Can ambition defy geography, history, and hardened enemies? Or is Bagram forever out of reach? Bagram Airbase sits 40 miles north of Kabul, its massive concrete runways now under Taliban control. For nearly 2 decades, this sprawling complex has served as America's most strategic military outpost in Afghanistan. Now, President Trump wants it back.
We're going to leave Afghanistan, but we're going to leave it with strength and dignity. And we're going to keep Bagram, the big air base, one of the biggest air bases in the world. We gave it to them for nothing. We're trying to get it back, by the way. Okay, that could be a little breaking news. We're trying to get it back because they need things from us. We want that base back.
The base Trump wants back isn't just any military installation. This sprawling complex served as the nerve center for US operations across Central Asia. Its 11,800-foot runway, built with heavy concrete and steel, can handle everything from cargo planes to bombers. But Trump's motivation goes far beyond Afghanistan itself.
But one of the reasons we want the base is, as you know, it's an hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons.
Sources told CNN that the conversations about returning the base to US control date back at least to March. Trump and his senior national security officials believe the base is needed for several reasons, including to surveil China, whose border is under 500 miles away, gain access to rare earth elements and mining in Afghanistan, establish a counter-terrorism node to target ISIS, and possibly reopen a diplomatic facility. The timing is no coincidence. China has been rapidly expanding its nuclear arsenal, with Pentagon estimates suggesting Beijing will possess 1,000 operational warheads by 2030 and 1,500 by 2035. That would put China roughly on par with current US and Russian deployments under existing arms control treaties. Trump elaborated on the base's strategic value, saying,
"They need a lot from us, and I'd like to get it back. It should have never been given. Bagram should have never been given the airbase. It was gross incompetence to give that up. You know, it's one of the most powerful bases in the world in terms of runway strength and length. The strength and length, you could land anything on there. You could land a planet on top of it. Can you imagine they gave it up for nothing? Just, let's leave. And it's an hour away from where they make their missiles."
Yet Trump's ambitious vision faces harsh realities that current and former officials are quick to highlight. A US official, speaking anonymously to Reuters, painted a sobering picture of what reclaiming Bagram would actually entail.
"I don't see how this can realistically happen."
Any effort to retake the base would need tens of thousands of troops, expensive repairs to infrastructure, and a logistical nightmare to supply an isolated American enclave in a landlocked country. The security challenges alone are staggering. Even after seizing control, US forces would need to clear and hold the massive perimeter to prevent rocket attacks. The base would face threats from Islamic State and Al-Qaeda militants still operating in Afghanistan, and potentially advanced missile attacks from Iran, which has already demonstrated its capability by striking a major US base in Qatar. A former senior defense official was even more blunt about the strategic value Trump claims.
"I don't think there's a particular military advantage to being up there. The risks sort of outweigh the advantages."
The numbers tell the story of just how massive this undertaking would be. When US troops left Bagram in July 2021, they removed nearly 900 C-17 cargo loads worth of equipment and destroyed nearly 16,000 pieces of military hardware. Rebuilding that capability would require enormous resources and political will. Adding another layer of complexity, the 2023 State Department After-Action Review found that leaving Bagram likely contributed to the chaotic nature of America's final exit from Afghanistan, since it left Kabul's airport as the only option for evacuations. The Taliban's response has been swift and unambiguous. Zabihullah Mujahid, the group's spokesman, dismissed Trump's comments as wishful thinking, making clear that Bagram remains firmly under Taliban control and that Afghanistan will not permit any foreign military presence on its soil. Zakir Jalali, a senior official at Afghanistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, reinforced this position.
Afghans have never accepted military presence throughout history, and this possibility was completely ruled out during the Doha negotiations and agreement. However, the doors for further engagement remain open.
This represents a fascinating contradiction in current US-Taliban relations. While publicly rejecting any military arrangement, recent diplomatic activity suggests both sides may be exploring other forms of cooperation. Adam Boehler, Trump's special hostage envoy, and former Afghan envoy Zalmay Khalilzad have made multiple trips to Kabul in recent months. Just this week, they met with Taliban Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi to negotiate prisoner swaps. The Taliban's foreign ministry said discussions also covered investment opportunities and other prospects in Afghanistan, adding that,
Now, a good opportunity has been provided to restore relations to their normal state.
Afghanistan's Defense Minister, Maulawi Mohammad Yaqub Mujahid, recently told Al Jazeera that while the Taliban maintains no military relationships with the US or NATO, they remain committed to the Doha Agreement.
We are committed to the agreement we signed with the Americans in Doha, and no one can present any evidence that during this period, meaning the past 4 years, the United States, any of its allies, or any other country has been threatened by Afghanistan.
The irony is unmistakable. Trump is essentially asking to renegotiate terms with the same Taliban with whom he struck a withdrawal deal during his first presidency. That February 2020 agreement mandated the complete pullout of all US-led international forces, yet Trump now suggests he always intended to keep Bagram. This revelation raises profound questions about American strategy in an era of great power competition. Are we witnessing the early stages of a new chapter in Afghanistan, one driven not by counterterrorism, but by competition with China? Or is this another case of ambitious rhetoric colliding with complex realities on the ground?